how to study one day before exam. This question has been asked by many students, and finally in this video we will be telling you how to study just one day before exam. What are all the things you should do? Before that, please subscribe to Excel Academy, your one-stop solution for company secretary course. When you have only one day before exam, the biggest question is, how do I revise everything, or what do I revise? The first point I want to tell you is that set realistic expectation. Please don't have an imagination that you're going to study the entire syllabus, you're going to revise every page, and there is some magic formula for that. So the first thing I want to tell you is that please set realistic expectation. Don't expect to revise everything in a perfect way. It is not possible. So first realize that. The second thing I want to tell you is that generally last day is overhyped by everyone. So many students tell me last day I could not study, that is why I didn't do well in exam. That is completely false. What I can tell you from my experience and also the students who have told me is that usually this exam is all about good preparation for 3 to 4 months or more than that. Some students have even studied for 1 year. So last day is extremely overhyped, and I tell this because no magic will happen in the last day. So last day you should not expect that suddenly you're going to study something and suddenly you're going to learn everything and you're going to do well in the exam. So last day, please keep it only for revision, and please make sure that don't have high expectations like I told you in the first point. The next point I want to tell you is that one day before exam, the best book is actually the notes which you have made. Yes, if you have not made notes, you can go back to the study material or any other book from which you have studied. But if you have made the notes and tomorrow is your exam, the best place to revise is your own notes, because that will give you the confidence to do well in the exam. The next thing I want to tell you is with respect to the book which you are studying. In the last day, please don't try to go to any new books. Many students do that. Oh, last day somebody told me this is easy. There's only one day. Why do you want to take that? No matter which book you studied from, stick to that book. And from that book, what you have to do is that you have to first start skimming through the book. Yes, you already studied everything. So you just go through, okay, this topic is there. Okay, I have studied this. Then go through that in a very brief manner. Don't read it or study it. You don't have. You should only revise it. And when you look at it, you yourself will realize, okay, I don't know this point fully. So see that point which you are not sure. But if you come to a topic which you already know, then don't go and study that in detail. Just, okay, you recall. You start recalling. Okay, I know this point. Okay, these are the points over there. And that is how you should keep it. Otherwise, it is impossible to finish such a big book. So in this point, what I want to tell you is that please concentrate on recalling. Try to just close your eyes and recall what is the concept. Try to remember, try to talk to yourself about what is the concept. You really will not have time to write down or do anything else, because there is just one day before exam, and especially if you have come after writing an exam, you have only 8 to 10 hours. So that is why this is how you should recall and make sure that you go through the book, all the concepts. You can just flip through the pages and that would be sufficient. The next thing is very important. It is called time boxing. You have to plan the time how much you're going to revise. Suppose you have only 8 to 10 hours before the next exam. You should have planned before, only much before. You should have planned, okay, from, let us say, from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. I will be revising the first 7 chapters. Then 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. I will be revising. So if you have a deadline, you make sure that you finish the revision within that time. Otherwise, what will happen? There are 20 chapters and you have revised only 10 and you go to exam and you feel I don't know anything. But even if you have just skimmed through everything, by having a deadline on when you're going to finish that revision, you psychologically feel that yes, I have revised. Though you might not have revised everything, you psychologically feel yes, I revised everything, and your confidence is little higher. So till you go to the exam hall, break up your entire time into 20 to 30 minutes each and keep that time, and within that time, that chapter you have to revise. More than that, you don't get time. And as I told you, the first point, set realistic expectation. Don't think that everything can be done in just 8 to 10 hours. Next point I feel is the most important. Don't study anything new. Please don't do this mistake. I have seen many students Tomorrow is the exam. Suddenly they see the book and say, oh, this is important, that is important, and they start studying that topic. You cannot study anything new just one day before exam, especially if you have prepared well for already few months. My suggestion is better to just revise whatever you have studied, and that will be more than sufficient. The next thing you should do when exam is tomorrow is that visualize that the exam is going well. Just imagine you're going to the exam hall and you got the question paper is easy, and you're writing all the answers very well. To do that visualization, what I suggest to you is take any one old question paper of the previous years and just imagine that you're in the exam hall and have a look at the paper. Just see the kind of questions they're asking. Just read the questions briefly. This will take only 10 minutes of your time, but when you do that, you're visualizing that tomorrow when I go, the exam will go well. And this may seem little strange, but it really helps, and I suggest you do that. See the old question paper and visualize yourself that tomorrow exam you're sitting and you know all the answers and you're going well. This will also help you to understand what kind of questions will be there, and from when we are studying only one chapter and what question they ask from that chapter. But when you see an old question paper, you will know that from all the chapters together, when you see the question paper finally, how it will look, and that will mentally help you, subconsciously will help you to take the exam, which is one day to go. Point now I'm going to tell you is relating to sleeping. This is, I feel, one of the biggest mistakes many students do. One day before exam, they don't sleep, or they sleep for very less. This will be a sudden change for your biological clock, and your body will not be able to take it, and many times your brain cannot recall everything in the exam hall if you do this sudden shift in your sleeping pattern. So in the last 1 month or 2 months before the exam, how much ever you're sleeping, you should sleep the same amount of time when the exam is tomorrow. If you have been sleeping for 5 hours from the last 2 months, you have to sleep again 5 hours. If you're sleeping for 7 or 8 hours, you keep the same thing, or maximum you can reduce by 1 hour. But suppose you're sleeping 6-7 hours every day and tomorrow is exam, you sleep only 2 hours, your entire biological clock will go haywire and you'll have a big tough time in the exam. So my suggestion is nothing will happen when one day is there for exam. So suddenly sleeping lesser for 3 to 4 hours will not change anything. So that is why sleep exactly how much you are sleeping before. Last but one point relating to what to do one day before exam. While you are revising, please don't think about the results. Results is one of the main reasons why students get scared. Results should not be your focus. Your focus should be what is your work? What am I doing? What am I doing? Tomorrow's exam. My work is to study and prepare well. Result is not in my hands. I'll study, prepare well, and in the 3 hours exam, I'm going to write well. That should be your goal, and you should not even think, what if I get a result like this? What if I pass? What if I fail? What if they cut marks in this? You should really not waste even 1 minute for all that. Just put your entire time on the preparation and revising as much as you can. Like I told you, it is impossible to revise everything, and you don't have to, because if you are prepared well for many months, you will get the answer in the exam. Even yesterday I did not revise that chapter, but today that question is there in the exam. I will get the answer because I have prepared for 2 to 3 months, and this is the case with many students, including my experience. So the last day revision, don't worry too much. Just prepare well and don't worry about the results. The last point relating to revision one day before exam is that many students have told me when they started revising one day before exam, they felt they are going to fail and they decide not to go for exam the next day. The last day of exam is not for you to take any decisions. Usually you will be little tensed, your confidence will be little low. It is natural. Even the rank students have told that when the exam is tomorrow, I was feeling I was not well prepared. So that is completely fine, and it is nothing wrong if you are feeling like that. But the mistake is if you decide not to go for exam. You should never make that mistake. One day before exam, don't take any emotional decisions. No matter what is your confidence level, no matter how much you feel you are prepared, even if you feel that you are going to fail, please go for the exam. The last day is not to decide, last day is only to revise. So that was the video relating to how to revise one day before exam. If you liked the video, please do let me know in the comments below. Also, if you have any questions about how to revise one day before exam, let me know in the comments below. I will be happy to answer your question. For more updates, subscribe to Excel Academy, your one-stop solution for CS course, and all the best for exams.